Well, this is called the L2 XL putter, and we're about to talk about it, Bob.
That's right.
Now this putter is obviously, let's take a look. You tell me what you think of it, because I hear that you've made about 200 feet of putts in the last round with this putter.
So it's unbelievable, quite honestly. I've never been a great putter.
Yeah.
And I've had times where I've had, streaks of good putting, but with this, since I've picked it up, it's been amazing. And I'll kind of take you through what I went through. So, of course, in putting, there's 4 skills. There's aiming a ball, right? Once you aim it, you got to be able to stroke that ball where you aim it. You have the distance control, and then you have green reading, right?
That's right.
So the first thing I had was when he put it down, when John Ambrose put it down, the inventor, and showed me that I could get behind it and line it up, I was like, holy mackerel, I've never been able to line a putt up. I've always been off. So that was the first thing, and it was amazing. It just stood there. I got behind it.
Were you surprised at how off your aim was?
Oh my God, it was terrible. It was. Now I know why I couldn't read greens, but I'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
So then the next thing was, once I could aim it, was now can I stroke it where I aim it? So I didn't always do that, because I used to have guys come up behind me with my other putters, right? And I'd get it aimed, they'd say, hey, you got to move it this way, I'd stroke it and I'd miss it. It wouldn't go where I aimed it. And what John talked to me about was that, and this is where it gets into, the size and the weight of the putter, is that with the peripheral weighting, the peripheral ring on it and the weighting system, that produces the highest MOI putter in golf. It's got 3.75 inches of sweet spot, which is phenomenal.
So the twisting and turning is nullified, right?
That's exactly right. So when I took it back, I let it, and every single time that I brought the putter back, it was going where I aimed it.
What were you thinking about your stroke? Were you conscious of how am I stroking? Are my hands involved? Or are you just stroking?
Hold on, you got to the good part. So then you get into the weight, right? Well, the weight's a little bit heavier than what I would normally use, and what I found out about the weight from a distance control side of it is I could swing this like a pendulum and let the putter do the work. So getting back to your point, I didn't have to work at it. I just drew it back and let it go. Now I've got aim, I'm hitting it, or I'm stroking where I'm aiming it, and I'm hitting it the right distance, and I'm not even working at it.
Well, this putter is heavy. Now, that's the first thing that I noticed, other than the fact that it does set up so you can look at your alignment. But how heavy is the putter?
It's about 580 grams.
That's heavy.
Almost double a normal putter. I mean, a little bit less than double a normal putter. But again, you're just letting it swing. You're not working at it. You're taking the yip type stroke out of the play.
It's sort of taking it out, though, isn't it?
Yep, 100%.
Because it's so heavy.
100%.
And that oversized, oversized is not really the word for the sweet spot. I mean, it's almost 4 inches, right? 3 3/4, 3.5 inches of pure sweet spot. And that's what I loved about it. I've always been a handsy putter, streaky. When I'm on, my hands and my nerves are right, I'm on. When I'm not, catastrophe. 40 putts, right? But I love the fact that, again, I could line it up and know where I'm lined, walk in, take my mind out of it, take my hands out of it, and use the bigger muscles in my body and the putter to do the work.
Well, it's just draw it back and let it go.
That's it.
Aim it, draw it back, and let it go.
Sounds good. Well, keep the products coming, folks. This is the Medicus Sports Show. If you've got a product you want us to look at, it just doesn't get any simpler, right? info@medicussports.com. That's info@medicussports.com. And now we're going to take the L2 out and let some golfers try it. Oh, look at that stroke, huh? What do you think about that, Pat? The L2 XL, right in the heart.
Oh yeah, yeah. Been hitting putts for 10 minutes. I haven't missed many.
Well, that's a good thing.
It is, it is.
Well, what do you think of the putter? What do you like about it? What don't you like?
For starters, just the look of it. It was a bit of a bigger head than I'm used to. It's kind of a funky looking head, looking down on it. Something I'm not used to. I'm starting to warm up to it. More putts I'm starting to make. But yeah, that was just, at first glance, that's what I've noticed. I do like a heavier putter. I do prefer a heavier putter and a mallet, a bigger mallet. But this is definitely the biggest I've used here. So The weight of it, I think I've just been hitting 10 footers and I think it's great. It's, you know, you just get it back and you let it go, let the putter do the rest of the work for you, and you know, the rest is history.
So you like the oversized head, you like the weight. How about the oversized sweet spot?
You know, I didn't even know about that, but I guess now that I think about it, I haven't mishit a putt, so that's a good thing.
So originally, some of the things you said were, you know, the size, the weight, right? So those are the same things I had the issue with when I picked it up the first time, is that I wasn't used to looking at something like that. And the inventor, John Ambrose, explained to me, he said, you know, what did you think about when they brought out the Big Bertha the first time? And it was the same thing, you know, that size looked funky to me.
Right.
And not that there was any weight at that point, but what developed out of that is I hit it further and I didn't miss hit balls as much, so I liked it. Yeah. You know, and that's the same thing I ran into with this, was when I originally did it, and of course, I'm fortunate enough that you're here with me because you've been playing with me lately.
I've been.
And how have I been putting?
Unbelievable. It went from 0 to 100 real quick, and you know, it's not very fun when he's on the other team. We're playing a match. He's making everything, but you know.
And they were long too, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they were.
Just various lengths, long putts, short putts, medium putts, all kinds.
A lot of bombs. Over 20 feet, he was just making them.
Why do you think that was? Why do you think you're making so many putts?
Well, again, going back to, you know, the benefits, the physics in the putter, you have a bigger sweet spot, right? So if I mishit the putt, it's still going to go straight. Mm-hmm. The weight, I just let the putter swing like he talked about, and I don't have to put a lot of work into it. You know, I normally was into hitting it too much. I jab at it a little bit myself, so that allowed me to stroke it right. And of course, the alignment, I never could align a putter, so this was a breath of fresh air for me when I could stand up and see exactly where I aimed. And you know what I did find out, also the same thing, I couldn't read a green because I never hit a putt where I needed to hit it in the first place. So, you know, that was probably my hardest part for me, was to calibrate myself in green reading as I started to hit a putt online where I'm supposed to.
What about you? I mean, you feel like you think about your stroke with the L2 XL, or are you just kind of letting it do its work once you've got it aligned?
Just from the putts I've been hitting, I just let it go.
Just let it go?
Yeah, I just take it back, I let it go. The putter does the rest of the work for me, and I've been making everything, so.
So once you're aligned, you're just thinking about that speed and keeping it on that line, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna hit it right where you're aimed, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, it just takes one aspect of the putting out of your mind. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it, which is aim.
Where are your hands involved? Are you usually a handsy putter? Or do you feel like your hands are involved or not involved with this putter?
It definitely takes all the hands out. All of them.
Okay.
You really can't yip this if you have, you know, the yips on the short putts. If you're having trouble with short putts, trouble stabbing at it, you can't do it with this. There's just the weight of it just doesn't allow you to get jabby with it.
Well, that's an important feature for those of you at home that like myself, are handsy or tend to get handsy with a putter, right? You're not going to get that with this.
Nope, you won't. It definitely will improve your short putts. I will say that. If you have a 4-footer and you're able to set a putter behind the ball, aim it where you want to, and I mean, 4-footer's not really worried about speed, so you don't have to worry about that either. You're not thinking about anything. You can just hit the putt, and it's nearly impossible.
Sounds like 3-putts are a thing of the past. We appreciate you taking a look at the L2 XL.
Thank you.
All righty. And remember, if you have products you'd like to pass right on through the Medicus Sports Show, info@medicussports.com. And in just a second, we're going to let another happy golfer try the L2 XL.
The L2 makes putting more enjoyable. Why does it make putting more enjoyable? It's quite simple. You have the confidence that you've never had before when stroking the ball. Your ability to line the ball up and know you're on line, your ability to know that you're going to strike it solid, your ability to know that the stroke stability is there no matter what, can only make this game more enjoyable and make you a better player.
I usually have a hard time lining up the putt correctly, and I usually either overshoot it or undershoot it. And this, the fact that it's heavy and it stands up and helps me direct my putt better, has been a huge help.
This putter here, the main advantages I saw is the alignment system in it. Been feeling like I've been aiming to the left. In reality, I've been aiming to the right. So it sits on the ground by itself, and you just get back behind it.
I like the idea that you can just set it down and see what your line is. And I also like the idea that keeps your eyes right over the ball, which I have a tendency not to. Because when I first put this putter down, I had the toe right up in the air because I guess I must put it too far for me and my eyes aren't over the ball.
Okay, we've got a different golfer. John is here. We've got a longer putt, about 18 feet. John, take us through your routine. Let's see some hold putts here with the L2 XL. That's a great stroke right there. Oh, great stroke.
Thank you.
How'd that feel?
You know, it felt really good. This putter is something that's hard to get used to at first, like any first impression really. But the thing is, I've been putting with this a little bit. And what I found was it's something that I really have to think of long term, because at first, if you're not used to the look of it, you're not used to the weight of it, you're not used to the grip, of course you're not going to like it. You're used to putting your conventional putter, lighter weight, smaller grip and stuff like that. So when I think of this long term and I think of what is explained to me about how the putter works on paper, it's something that if you can get used to it, yes, you're going to love it, and it can actually be a putter that is really, really good for you.
Well, talk about some of the features that you like about these.
Yeah, so, well, the big grip's cool because I feel for me the big grip takes my hands out of it, and it forces me to use my larger muscles in my torso to kind of move the putter back and through. And the weight of it and the balance of it, along with the size of the head and the sweet spot, kind of make me feel like when I'm taking it back and going through, it sort of does it on its own. I just have to guide it, and the face doesn't twist. So I've hit some putts off center and they went in. This is before we started recording. And I'm like, wow, so that face didn't twist. This is actually the reason that I'm thinking long term it could be something that works, because it actually works when you're missing the sweet spot and the putts go in. That's just proof of it right away.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, and yeah, and you know, the thing is, you can't beat physics.
No.
Right? And that's where I got to it with. And unfortunately, you weren't with me when I was playing before with Pat, but that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Is I hit what I thought were bad putts,
Yeah.
and they went in. You know, another thing that came to light was when I was talking to John, the inventor of the putter. He said, "Look at the hole in putt." He said, "Why basketball players look at the the basket, right? Why do you need to look at the hole?" And he said the reason they do that is because everybody has a smaller sweet spot, and they miss it when they look at the hole.
Sure.
With this allows you, if that's something you want to do, you could actually look at the hole and hit a putt, and you're not going to miss the sweet spot.
So because of the larger sweet spot, you feel like there really are no off the toe or off the heel hits.
No, it's not the way that you're used to it. Like you can hit the ball off the toe, but it'll feel like a sweet spot hit. You know what I mean? Like you're not really in trouble when you're on the toe or heel.
You mentioned hands. Typically when you're putting poorly, do you use hands a little too much?
Yeah, so when the putting isn't quite there, putting more poorly, it's definitely a handsier, armsier motion. You're not really controlling the flow with the body. But this thing kind of forces you to do that. That's the beauty of it.
Yes.
You know?
Do you feel like connected to the putter? In other words, do you feel like some great putters have said they actually feel their abs moving?
Yes,
you know?
yes, I
Right?
definitely feel that. Yeah, 100%. That's actually when I'm putting well, is the abs and the core kind of take it. And you have to kind of get in the rhythm with the putter. You can't control it, you know? So that's exactly what the abs and the larger muscle controlled stroke does in relationship to this, kind of forcing you to do that.
Well, under pressure, that's what you want.
Yes.
You want to be connected, and you want to take the hands out, because goodness knows you could go anywhere, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, when you're kind of feeling a little nervy and stuff, you want to feel as much stability as possible. The last thing you want to feel is the hands flipping at it, or your right arm's like throwing the putter at it or something like that. So if you can actually be at one with the putter and kind of move it the way it wants to be moved under pressure, like you're going to be way better off.
Really?
You have to get used to it. You have to love it, and it's really a long-term relationship you're having with this putter.
Yeah.
Because of the features that you've told us,
Exactly.
right? The larger head, the larger sweet spot, taking the hands out,
Yeah.
and of course the alignment, which has got to be big.
Absolutely.
Right?
Just get used to it, and you could really love it.
Because we both think that the L2 XL putter is an almost instant game changer for us, both Bob and I give it a thumbs up, meaning we'd put the L2 XL in our bag today.
All right, Bob, we put the L2 XL in the hands of lots of golfers. Overwhelmingly, what do they have to say?
Great results, Bo. It was actually phenomenal, and it seems to follow the same pattern with people. You know, initially the look of the head gets them, but as they start to make putts, it doesn't matter anymore.
There's no feeling quite like it in golf. Well, you know, the 400-yard bomb, but most of us can't hit that. But I guarantee you, anyone, including you, can make putts with the L2 XL. So go out and get yourself one.